五黑虐菜，单排坐牢，建防繁琐，开局艰难，队友秒退，无限重连。跟9黑秒退说拜拜，用分数证明理解。棋逢对手，将遇良才，完美世界竞技平台现已支持游狼匹配。7月15日正式推出 Oh My God 4+2先驱者测试，更刺激的4+2来完美世界竞技平台，爽快对局一键开启。
Now, what do you do to them? You know?
Yeah. And on the LGD side, we talked about perhaps some Chinese teams were sometimes lacking versatility in international tournaments. LGD has never been that team, historically speaking. I think we get to see it again. This draft, Enigma Galaxy's last draft in the best of 3, and the first draft of that series, literally all completely different in what they're attempting to do. How do you stop a team that has this many strategies?
You don't. It's as simple as that. I mean,
let them run over you.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
No worries. I mean, you got Faith Beyond and Y, right? TI6, Wings, that was their big thing. You just could not prepare against them. No two strats were the same, and it really feels like they're bringing that to the front. I mean,
a couple of records. Yeah, Monkey King as well. I mean, OG, great performance to kind of come back into the series with Game 2. But honestly, when LGD look good, they look unstoppable.
Absolutely.
In a game where things are going poorly in laning stage, there's always a way back for them, but when they are up and ahead, it feels like their opponents just have no answer to their snappy, decisive moves. All these smokes coming out from the enemy jungle, they are moving there as 3-4 heroes. Not only are they bodyguarding their carry where Arme can push the long lane all the way towards base, but they're also setting up for these aggressive smokes where they play forward towards the base.
Yeah, very clean execution overall. Roshan understanding when they need to go. The smokes into Exorcism, getting a pick off near the Roche pit. Pretty textbook example, I would say, but LGD, they are on another level right now.
Yeah, well.
One of the strengths of LGD is that they can completely shift their drafts. Like we're talking about full 180. They have variety of the heroes that they can play. It feels like it's some different team playing Game 2 whenever they lose. It's like, we just did that, never mind, full reset, and then they're going to go for something different, something that you still haven't seen.
Right, because day one it was like Lone Druid. They've not played, LGD as a team hasn't played it in 2 years. Arme's not played it in 2 years. And then day 2, Spectre comes back. There's now Monkey King's there. It's these kind of, the ability to play different styles as well. Because sure, you can swap heroes in and out. You think about, Amar, his DK, his Viper, whatever it is. Still, lane dominating heroes, the Slardar. But Arme is able to play Spectre, that late game presence, the threat of him going 40, 50 minutes. And then the shift suddenly to Monkey King, who's like 20 minutes, I'm ready to go. But
obviously that last game that we watched with the Night Stalker wasn't the case. It was in a disadvantageous matchup, but he just played it so damn well that it didn't even matter.
And I feel like against the team that we just saw on the screen, like this LGD team, I think it's going to be less effective. I think you're going to have to respect the fact that they will abuse you, drafting-wise. I think they did it really well against OG. I felt like, to my... this is hard for me to say, to admit, but I do think that they outdrafted OG pretty heavily 3 games in a row, even the game that they lost. And they showed that, we understand how to break your strategy, and we know how to abuse it. And I think
finals, of course, that's just Dota for you. Let's talk about the last game. I think we said a lot in the draft, but can we highlight some of the things that LGD did well on top of that draft? Let's start with you, Ceb.
A lot of things. I think they had the confidence to go for the Alt pick, which was the perfect pick for the game, besides maybe scary lane, which it ended up being a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they hold their composure really well. Honestly, I feel like, now they won the tournament, so it sounds stupid to say, but I think they're by a large margin the best team in this tournament, in the shape that they are, in terms of execution, but mostly in terms of game understanding and strategizing. I think it was quite impressive.
The big thing for me was synergy. That's the word that I want to go with for this tournament, because we were talking about it in the green room, Seb. We were like, why don't more teams just pick stuff that makes sense together? We saw in this game all the minus armor. You had the Dazzle with a bad juju. You had the acid spray, lucky shot. You went into a Desolator on the Fury. And it's so hard to be able to get through all of that. You might have a rougher start to the game, but again, it would get to that stage where you just couldn't kill anyone, and they had overwhelming damage to be able to deal with you.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the aspects of Dota that you need to take into account in order to really break the game, kind of.
Yeah, and I think one aspect as well that's not really so gameplay related is kind of the mentality and the fortitude that can bring. I think LGD, you know, straight away, game number 1, we're like, Spirit, we already beat you with Lone Druid. We'll just do it again, right? And they smack them with Lone Druid. I mean, it was right back to that Spirit go, try and ban it in game 2, and LGD just have more and more strats ready. This time, Ceb, they brought the papers.
They did, and I mean, this is gonna be another year of LGD, you know, road to the international. You know, the kind of the rise up is starting. It is scary, you know, for whoever, you know, wish to kind of attend or get a shot at winning TI this year. Yeah, once again, they're here. Once again, they're dominating. It is really impressive.
And just on what you said before, Ceb, about breaking the game, this isn't something that LG have done for the first time. You know, they did this at TI. They did this with their style of like the tiny Lycan, buff stuff up with the Ogre Magi, so it's just much more powerful than it seems on face value, and it's the exact same here. They just make it work, and it's nothing that's completely new to Dota either. You know, the mass healing, mass armor reduction, damage reduction in as well, and yeah, you can see all the players, except for Faith Beyond, the absolute Chad that he is, just struggling with the sheer weight of that trophy.
Yeah, no, Faith Beyond used to carrying him, so of course he can carry the trophy as well. But I think something that's very beautiful LGD shows us is that this whole patch, you know, especially with a lack of changes, there's been a lot of talks about how important lanes are and how you win lanes, it's easy to win the game, and games are over so quickly. And it just takes a team that sees Dota differently to change that perspective, as we see here in the scoreboard brought to you by STC. I think a lot of teams have done that in the past, Wings, OG, EG at TI5 as well. That's, I think, the beauty in Dota, right? Seeing how maybe all our conceptions about it are just wrong sometimes, and it takes one team to show you that, right?
Yeah, one team to change the metagame completely, change the way